Hey guys, I left from Mycenae, but I want to show you a bit the itinerary so far in Peloponnese. So we came from the east side. You can also see Climinic mountains that we've seen from Corinth or Upper Corinth, Acro Corinth, from the east side. Now we can look at them from the south side. And from Acro Corinth I passed through some beautiful valleys and over some mountains, and I also went to Nemea. It's also an ancient place where there is a beautiful temple of Zeus with about 8-9 columns still standing. And also over there is, legend has it that Hercules killed the Hera's lion, one of his first labors. And also a beautiful stadium over there, at least for 200-300 years. The games were held over there. So it's a really huge and long ancient stadium. From Nemea we've been to Mycenae, where we've seen that beautiful fortress with the Lion Gate, and with his cyclopean walls. Another interesting and similar fortress like Mycenae is Tiryns. It's about 4 kilometers from here towards the east side, because I'm standing actually in the city of Nafplio. But until we talk about Nafplio, I want to show you that over this Argolic Bay that you see here, there's over there a peak. And on that peak you can see a fortress. That's the fortress of Larissa, with the hill of Larissa. Over there is also the city of Argos. Argos, it's one of the oldest and longest lived city in the entire Greece, and it is also a really big theater over there with at least 20,000 seats. It's carved into the mountain. It's actually at the foot mountain of that fortress Larissa, which was built by Venetians. But what I'm trying to point here is the fact that here on a really small area there are 4 important fortresses. So we do have, as we've seen, the fortress of Larissa over there. We have the second fortress right here in the middle of this harbor, Borzi fortress. It was built in the 15th century, and the Turks call it Borzi. Burg coming, it's the translation for tower. It's like a semi-submerged submarine. It's right in the middle of the harbor. The third one, it's right here. It's called Acronauplia, or the Upper Nafplio. It is a pre-classical fortress of the city of Nafplio. And the fourth one, it's over here with 3 castles, Palamidi. It's about 216 meters above sea level. You can reach over there by stairs. You can see over there a zigzagging trail through the stairs up to the fortress. Up to over there are at least 1,000 steps. It's a really killing climbing way of going through that side. but there is also a road around. You can also use a car to reach the top of the fortress. Well, Nafplio, it's a really important city for Greece. First of all, I want to say that during the Byzantines, they started with Turks and Venetian and Franks to enforce the fortification of this fortress, this one. It's called Tree Castle. Today, unfortunately, it has two hotels named Xenia. One is over there with those apartments over there, and the second one, it's right here. Almost nothing related with the history. And we have also a clock tower over here. Well, as I said, the Byzantine were the first who enforced these walls, and then the Franks, after the Fourth Crusade, they took the place in 1212, and then they sold it in 1388 to the Venetians. Actually, Venetians bought lots of places here in the Aegean and in the shores of the mainland of Greece, and they for 150 years they ruled this place. But then in 1540 the place also again fell under the Turks. Actually, it was the first time when this place fell under the Turks, and the Turks also kept this area under their rule for almost 150 years. In 1715 was the second time when this area came again under the Turkish occupation. Well, the fortress Palamidi, which stands on the top over there, was built in 3 years. All three castles that form today this fortress, and so it started being built in 1711, and by 1714 it was completed. 1 year later, probably even because they left maximum 80 soldiers to guard this fortress, it was easy to be conquered by the Turks. And so in 1715 this area fell under the Turks, and the Turks ruled this place for 107 years until 1822, when the Greek War of Independence started. And this place, along with the fortress of Argos of Larissa, were pretty important for that period, because both of these places became important focal points for the Greek War of Independence of this area. And this fortress was also sieged for almost a year, and then it was conquered. And what I'm trying to say is that the first Republic of Greece, the first government and the first seat of Greece, was established on this fortress because it was a really important and easy to defend spot. So even Kolokotronis was imprisoned here after he was a really important figure of the Greek War of Independence. But the first government, the first parliament, were the ones who actually imprisoned Kolokotronis. In the second castle over there, the ones that is in the middle of those three castles. Also, the castle has lots of bastions. First, the Venetians give the name to those bastions to the names of the provveditori, the ones that actually paid for building this fortress. Then, when during the Ottomans, they gave also other names to the bastions, and the Greeks after 1822 they changed again the names into heroic names of history. So after 1822, in 1829 was the first time when Kapodistrian, the first prime minister of Greece, stepped foot here on Nafplio, and he was the one who established the first capital of the Republic of Greece in 1829 here in Nafplio. So Nafplio was the first capital of the Republic of Greece, and even after he was assassinated, also here on the steps of a cathedral, its name the Cathedral of Saint Spiridon, he was actually shot to death by Mavro Mihali's clan, and after his death it was a bit of chaos here in Greece, until the Bavarian king Otto, appointed by the European powers, came again here in Nafplio and stayed 1 year here from 1833 until 1834, when he decided to move to Athens and to appoint Athens as the capital of Greece. So Nafplio, it's quite a beautiful city with this beautiful bay and this multiple fortresses, and the view, it's amazing wherever you look. It's quite a quiet city. It's mainly touristical, and you can have lots of things to do from here, and it's an important point to visit lots of other places around Peloponnese. I might say that the Venetians were quite interested to stay for a long time here in the Aegean. That's why probably they invested so much and they built so many fortresses around here. But unfortunately, at the end, at least I think this fortress that was probably the last fortress that they built overseas, they managed to keep it only for 1 year. So final look around Nafplio. So this is Upper Nafplio. I forgot to tell you something which is quite important. This Upper Nafplio, Acro Nauflio, during the Venetians, they've seen a really important similarity with Naples or Napoli in Italy. Quite similar place. Why? Because back then in the Middle Ages, this entire today peninsula was an islet. So you can go with a boat all around this place. Well, for not having confusions about communicating over this place, they call it Naples of Romania. The etymology of the word Romania came from or can be translated as land of Byzantine Empire, or land which is occupied or inhabited by people of the Byzantine Empire. So they call it Napoli of Romania. Well, it's important because it's really it's a name that today my country bears it. So that's why I wanted to tell you about it. And I also seen a map from the 15th, 16th century, which shows exactly this place with ships all around this former islet. So, as I said, a final view over this beautiful bay with this islet of Burzi. Today the peninsula with the old town of Nafplio, today called Acronauflia. There are about 3 or 4 mosques in the lower city that today are used in other purposes. Palamidi fortress, that's the name of this fortress. It is given by a famous Greek that invented the dice and measuring scales. A Greek that was killed during the war of Troy, being accused of treachery. Palamedes was the name, so it bears the name of a famous Greek inventor, with those 3 castles on top of it. So this is Nafplio, for 5 years capital of independent Greece, between 1829 and 1834. See you next time.